Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the President and CEO of ACCA, Paul Stalknecht.
Thank you. You know, I was just sitting up front with Joe and I, and when Danny came out, I just couldn't help but notice resemblance between his body and Joe's and mine. It was just incredible. But thank you. And I have to tell you that Joe Nichter has done a tremendous job as chairman of this organization. We've accomplished great things over the last 12 months while laying the groundwork for even more exciting changes in the future. Let's thank Joe again for his hard work and dedication to ACCA. Under Joe's leadership and the rest of our board and the ACCA professional staff, ACCA has been moving fast to keep one step ahead of the rapidly changing industry. The proof is in your seats with our 2011 annual report to the members. Now, I don't have time to go over everything in the report, but I hope you take it with you and review it when you get a chance. And you'll see, ACCA is committed to serving the entire contracting industry. And everything we do is focused on our vision of leading indoor environmental professionals to business success. It was 12 years ago, I came to my first ACCA conference. It was there where I accepted the position as your association's president and CEO. When I came to that conference, I met with an incredible board of legendary contractors, many of them in this room today. They shared with me their vision of what they believed ACCA could become. I listened to them, and then I told them, I think we need to think even bigger. They said, okay, you're our guy, go do it. Now that conference was 12 years ago, and it was also the last time ACCA met in Las Vegas. And if you don't think a lot of things have changed in 12 years, wow. Just look around the city, look around this room. Take a look at the Expo hall, read the annual report, check our websites. ACCA has come farther than anybody thought it could come. That's because we know who we are. We have never lost sight of the fact that we are a contracting association, led by contractors, for contractors. Now, I've learned a lot in those 12 years and have a few more gray hairs to show for it. But there's one thing I learned is, I don't know what I don't know. I'm an association executive. I am not a contractor. That is why we on staff and I depend so much on contractor leadership and guidance in everything we do. Contractors shape our programming and shape our standards because contractors are on the industry's front line and know what the marketplace needs. It was contractors who told us that many of them are now involved in services other than traditional air conditioning, and they wanted the association to broaden its horizons as well. We listened. As Joe Nichter mentioned a few moments ago, our board has adopted a new vision statement to reflect who we are and who we represent. Today, we are the organization of professional indoor environment and energy community. So 5 months ago, we launched our first industry council, the Radiant Hydronics Council, a new association within an association of ACCA members who work in the hydronics sector. We brought together some of the smartest hydronics contractors and consultants in the nation. You see their names on the screen. And we asked them, what would your ideal association look like? And they told us, well, we need an organization like ACCA. There has never been a hydronics organization that was truly contractor-led and contractor-focused. That's what we need. So we gave it to them. And after just 5 months, now with more than 500 member contractors, the ACCA Radiant Hydronics Council is already the largest hydronics contracting organization in the country. Let's thank Dan Foley and the RHC chairman and all of the other members of the RHC advisory group for their dedication in making this happen. It was also contractors who told us that the HVAC industry needs to take control of the building performance field. Many successful contractors have been performing energy-saving services in homes and buildings for quite some time. Much of the stuff is not new. It was only recently that these energy-saving services were coined under the catchphrase terminology of building performance. Heck, ACCA has been talking about the whole building approach and teaching about it for years at these annual conferences and in our manuals and standards. Our members told us, we are the building performance professionals, and we want to provide our customers with the same exemplary, high-quality service that they've come to expect of us. So to make that happen, they told us they needed a real standard and guidelines that actually work and can actually be implemented. So we worked with the contractors and made that happen, as Joe mentioned earlier. Now that we have the ANSI-recognized standard, what's next for the home performance contracting industry? We did what we always do. We turned to contractors. Some of the smartest, best-known contractors in the building performance field. We asked them, what would your ideal building performance association look like? And they said, well, it would look a lot like ACCA. There's never been a contracting-led, contractor-focused organization in the building performance field. That's what we want. And as Joe indicated, so today we launched the ACCA Building Performance Council to be led by a group of smart contractors. And you'll see the names behind me. Chaired by Ellis Giles of TAG Mechanical, the ACCA Building Performance Council will focus on providing the tools and resources that contractors need to succeed in building performance in a market-driven economy. Now, you should know that ACCA has a lot of member contractors who work in home performance and are looking into expanding into this field. It took us 5 months for the Hydronics Council to become the largest hydronics contracting organization. I can tell you, it won't take that long for the BBC to become the nation's largest home performance contracting organization. In fact, we may already be there. You know, throughout the economic downturn, I have been often asked by the press, how is the contracting industry doing? And I have to be totally honest. I go to a lot of meetings around the country, talk to a lot of our members, people in this room, and a lot of them are doing fine. Perhaps not the best year in business, but okay. I actually asked a former chairman a year or so ago, how come I keep hearing all the bad news about the economy? But when I talk to our members, so many of them seem to be making out okay. He thought for a moment, and then he said, probably because they go to the ACCA conference. Not once, not twice, but over and over. That stuff works so great in good times, it's got to work pretty well in the bad times too. And I think he was onto something. It's what I call the cumulative learning experience. A lifetime attending events like the ACCA conference, participating in mixed groups, listening to others' people's ideas and critiques. When you come to an ACCA conference and spend time with contractors, in workshops in the hallways, and spend time with the vendors in the Expo, you're going to leave with a lot of seeds planted. Now, those seeds may not take root this year, but they'll be there. And next year, there'll be more. And the year after that, there'll be even more. Over time, you wind up with a company that's prepared to succeed no matter what the economy is doing, no matter what the weather is doing. When you commit to the cumulative learning experience by attending the ACCA annual conference year after year, you are committed to building a company that will grow strong and stable. How many in the room here today have been to an ACCA conference more than once? Raise your hand. Just look around. You should congratulate yourself. You have figured out the secret. Now, how many in this room here today are here for the first time? Raise your hand. A good number as well. We welcome you to the ACCA annual conference. The ACCA conference is not just our association's annual meeting, Over the past few years, it's become the industry's crossroads. It's where the leaders from all the HVAC industry segments get together for quality time and conversations. We're always thrilled to welcome our partners and supporters from throughout the industry. But there's one group of leaders that are extremely valuable to ACCA, because this group makes everything we do possible. They are our corporate partners. These are the companies that made significant financial contributions to ACCA with no strings attached, because they believe so strongly in what we do for the professional contractors that drive the HVACR industry. We would like to thank all of our corporate partners for their extraordinary commitment to ACCA activities all year long. And I'd like to recognize these companies and their leaders who are here with us today, and I ask that you please hold your appointment until the end. From 3M Filtrete, Dave Albers. From CallSource, Elliot Lieboff and Jerry Fellman. From Carrier, Chris Nelson. From Comfort Institute, Brendan Reed and Robert Wilkos. From ContractorSelling.com, Julie Crisera. Emerson Climate Technologies, Brent Schroeder. From Federated Insurance, Nate Olin. From Goodman Manufacturing, Dave Swift. Green Homes America, Bert Kendall. From Honeywell, John Tyaz. From Jackson Systems, Tom Jackson. From Johnson Controls, Rod Rushing. LENNOX International's Doug Young. From Mitsubishi, Bill Raw. The Air Conditioning, Heating, Refrigeration News, Mike Murphy. Ream Manufacturing, Chris Peel. Ingersoll Rand, Gary Michaels. Please join me in thanking each of these partners for their support and friendship. We're also excited to have so many guests from our allied associations in the industry. We believe that this industry works best when it works together. And we're honored to have so many organizations send their top leaders to attend the ACCA conference. And I'd like to recognize those who are here. And again, please hold your applause to the end. Steve Urich from AHRI, Ron Jerrigan from ASHRAE, Bud Mingledorf and Talbot Gee from Hardy, Mark Genron and Scott Pape from HRAI, our Canadian friends, Carl Grimes and Glenn Fellman from IAQA, Alan Veek from NAFA, Don Frenberg from NATE, Keith Benevenu from PHCC, Steve Baden from ResNet, and Mark Lowry from RSES. Please join me in thanking each one of these organizations for their support. I'd especially like to thank the Indoor Quality Association for once again co-sponsoring the Indoor Air Expo. It is our largest trade show ever this year until next year. Next year, the Indoor Air Expo will become IE3, the Indoor Environment and Energy Exposition, and will be sponsored by ACCA, IAQA, and new for 2013, ResNet. IE3 will be held February 27th through March 1st at the Orlando Marriott World Center, so make sure you mark that date. ACC, IAQA, and ResNet will be holding our annual meeting in conjunction with IE3. Thanks again, IAQA and ResNet, for recognizing the value of working together and for all your support.